Well, I'd just like to say a few words about this little piece, Indigo, which is part of a suite I wrote a few years ago called Rainbow, and is presently set for ABRSM's Grade 3. It's very expressive. It really has just two main musical features, which is just a melody in the right hand and an accompaniment in the left. But there are four things that I'd like to draw attention to, four things I think it's worth thinking about in preparing and performing this piece. And the four things are balance between the hands, the legato, the use of musical punctuation, and the use of the pedal. So if I can just spend a few moments on each of those, and we can have a think about how to best make use of them. The balance, well, we have this tune in E minor in the right hand, and a sort of triadic arpeggio kind of thing, which goes on all the way through basically in the left hand. That's basically how the piece is constructed, but it's what you do with it, of course, which is going to be the make or break of the performance. So balance, obviously we want the right hand to come through all the time. The tune is in the right hand. And those little triadic arpeggio things in the left hand to be quite gentle and soft, and not to have any note really more accentuated than any other note. The legato really is just good piano legato, and I don't wish to go into how we do that, but I want you to make the most rich legato, expressive legato that you possibly can all the way through, and that's really what's going to make this piece work. More interesting, I think, is the musical punctuation. You know, where do we put our little commas? I think that's really very important in the success of this piece. And I think it's mainly determined by the harmony. It's somewhat determined by the phrasing. For example, so at the end of, well, halfway through the second bar is the end of the first little phrase, and then the upbeat to the second bar. So you want a little bit of sense of phrasing there. But the more important and interesting phrasing comes via the harmony. So the first 7 bars, we have E minor, C major, D major, back to E minor again, but then gets interesting. So we're here in bar 6 or bar 7. And we have that lovely change going from E minor to that chord there, with this B, and this B now takes on the function of an appoggiatura, which then resolves onto the A, and I think that's a moment where we can really make the listeners wait. So if I just lead into that, and you can see how much you want them to make is up to you, of course, but I think we have to make them wait. Here's a couple of bars in. It's a wonderful moment, and we have to make our listeners wait there, and also come down to a new colour, a new dynamic. I've marked in piano in the score, but you know, do whatever you feel is appropriate there, and that happens a couple of times. That particular harmonic movement, which I think is very worthy of making some really quite specific punctuation there to bring that to life. And the final point really is the use of the pedal, and that's very much up to you. I think it does need pedaling, like for example, pedal with the harmony. So at the beginning, change of pedal to change the harmony. Again here, and again here, and of course here that special moment. We want to really obviously use pedal there. So that's one aspect. The other aspect of pedaling is, again, I want you to kind of think about it, but for example, if we look at the section 14, 15 and 16, we get this idea. Kind of leading into a middle section. Now I've used the pedal carefully there, just for a little bit of blurring, to get the harmony even more expressive. So what I'm doing here, now I'm putting the pedal on now, and just leaving it there, and then taking it off when I play the next half of that bar there. And you just get a bit of blurring, but all those notes together add up to something really colourful. So if you're just very careful, so I put the pedal down halfway through bar 15, pick it up halfway through bar 16, I think that gives a really lovely effect. And similarly, just before the next tempo, similar idea. For the return of the tune. So what you could do, I didn't do pedal that time, but you could put the pedal on for all of that. And then come off when it goes back into E minor. So some careful pedaling, I think, is going to really add to the sound world of this piece. And the final point I want to make, and then I'm just going to play it through to you, is the very end. At that F sharp, the very last note, placing that note could be very exquisite. So if I played it in time, here's the last 3 bars. So that was pretty much in time. I did a little bit of row there. But how long can you make your audience wait for that last F sharp, which is quite an unexpected note? Because it's not part of that E minor chord, it's just one of those lovely colourful notes. And I think you can make your audience wait quite a while for that. It's up to you, maybe even longer than that. But I think you need to make them wait, don't go straight into that last note. So let me see if I can give you a little performance of this piece, Indigo.